My name is Iris Archer. I am 33 years old. 2 weeks ago, my mother rang my doorbell for the first time in 9 years. She stood on my porch wearing a beige cardigan and holding a small carry-on suitcase. In her hand was a folded piece of paper. It was not an apology. It was a list. Handwritten. Blue ink. 5 bullet points. Every bullet point had a dollar sign next to it. Total, $925,000. She did not ask about my children. She did not ask how I had been. She looked me in the eyes and said, "We need to talk about the family's future." But what my mother did not know was that I had a list too. Mine was much longer. For 9 years, I kept records. Every returned birthday card. Every ignored voicemail. Every cruel text my sister sent behind my back. Every moment my family acted like I no longer existed. 29 items. Every one labeled and dated in red pen inside a navy blue binder hidden in the bottom drawer of my desk. She brought a list of what she wanted. I brought a list of what she did. To understand how we got there, you need to go back to the summer I turned 24. The summer my family decided I was no longer one of them. I grew up in Millfield, Ohio. Tiny town. One church. One diner. One barber shop. Everybody knew everybody. My father, Kenneth, worked at the lumber yard for over 30 years. Same shift every day. Same boots. Same quiet nod when he walked through the door every evening. My mother, Diane, controlled everything inside the house and half the town outside it too. She ran church events, organized potlucks, led prayer groups. People listened to her. Then there was my younger sister, Paige. Pretty. Loud. Confident. The kind of girl people noticed when she entered a room. Mom adored her. Dad called her sunshine. I was different. Quiet. Careful. Good grades. Good behavior. I cleaned dishes without being asked and got perfect scores on math tests nobody celebrated. I do not say that with anger. I say it because you need to understand something. In my family, love always felt limited. And Paige always got the bigger share. When I turned 18, I got a full scholarship to Ohio State. First Archer to go to college. Mom helped pack my suitcase. Before I left, she slipped a card inside one of the pockets. It had flowers on the front. Inside she wrote, "Come home soon. You belong here." I kept that card for 15 years. It still sits in my desk drawer beside the binder. It was the last kind thing my mother ever wrote to me. I met Marcus Ellison during my junior year in advanced statistics. He sat 2 rows ahead of me. Calm. Focused. Smart in a quiet way. Marcus was biracial. His mother was black. His father was white and left when Marcus was 4. His mother, Cora, raised him alone while working 2 jobs. Marcus listened when people talked. Really listened. Like your words mattered. Our first date was at a taco truck near campus. We shared a drink because neither of us had enough money for 2. We sat outside talking until the truck closed. He told me he wanted to build something useful someday. I told him I wanted work where numbers actually meant something. He smiled and said, "Then maybe we're both in the right place." We dated for 3 years. 3 steady years. No drama. No games. Just love growing slowly and honestly. Marcus met my parents twice. The first time, Mom called him Michael instead of Marcus. The second time, she used the right name but barely looked at him. Dad shook his hand both times and hardly spoke. I told myself they just needed time. Paige was more honest. One Thanksgiving, she leaned toward me and whispered, "He's nice, but Mom's never going to accept this." I should have listened. Marcus proposed on a Tuesday night in our tiny apartment kitchen. No fancy dinner. No huge ring at first. Just him sitting across from me at our little table saying softly, "I want to spend my life with you. Will you let me?" I said yes before he even finished. That night, I called home. Mom answered on the third ring. I told her I was engaged. Silence. 7 full seconds. Then she said, "You need to think about what this means for this family. Not congratulations. Not are you happy." A warning. Dad picked up the extension phone but said almost nothing. 2 days later, Paige texted me. "Mom has been crying since you called. Are you happy now?" Actually, I was. For the first time in years. But I did not answer her. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived from my mother. Handwritten. Cream-colored paper. 4 paragraphs. The last paragraph changed my life. "If you go through with this, you are choosing him over your family. We cannot support this. We will not attend. If you walk down that aisle, do not expect to walk back through our door. He is not one of us, Iris. He never will be." I read the letter 3 times. Then I folded it carefully and placed it inside a folder. Something inside me knew I would need proof someday. Marcus and I got married at a courthouse in Portland on a Saturday in June. 12 guests. All friends from his side. His mother, Cora, flew in carrying a garment bag and homemade pound cake. Before the ceremony, she pinned a silk flower onto my dress and held my hands. "Welcome to the family, baby." Nobody from my side came. No parents. No sister. No phone call. Nothing. Afterward, we celebrated at a small Thai restaurant. My dress cost $160 from a consignment shop. Marcus wore a clearance suit. We looked like 2 people building a future from almost nothing. Because we were. That night, after everyone left, I sat on the edge of the bed staring at my bouquet. Cheap grocery store roses. My hands shook. Not because I regretted marrying Marcus. Because the people who raised me did not care enough to watch. 1 week later, I mailed my parents a wedding photo. I wrote, "We're happy. I hope someday you can be happy for us too." 11 days later, the envelope came back. Red stamp across the front. Return to sender. I stared at it for a long time. Then I opened my folder and placed the envelope inside. Item 2. That was the beginning of the binder. The first year was the hardest. I called Mom 4 times. Every call went to voicemail. I left careful messages. "Hi Mom. Just wanted to say hello. Marcus got a new job downtown. I miss you." No reply. I mailed birthday cards. Christmas cards. Every single one came back unopened. Dad sent one text. 4 words. "Your mother needs time." That was it. Meanwhile, Paige posted family photos online. Sunday dinners. Holiday gatherings. Smiling faces around tables I was never invited to anymore. I started printing screenshots. Not because I enjoyed hurting myself. Because I wanted facts. Proof. The folder became too full, so I bought a navy blue binder with dividers. Every item got labeled and dated in red pen. Marcus asked once why I kept all of it. I told him the truth. Someday our kids might ask why they don't know my family. I want them to know exactly what happened. He nodded. Marcus understood records. He was an engineer. By year 2, Marcus quit his job to build software for small businesses struggling with financial compliance paperwork. He worked in our garage beside a cheap whiteboard and a space heater that barely worked. I helped after my finance job. He built the product. I built the financial systems around it. We worked late almost every night. Some evenings we ate soup from paper cups while reviewing spreadsheets at midnight. The company was called Compliance Core. At first, nobody cared about it. The launch crashed twice on the first day. But slowly, Clients came. 4 customers became 10. 10 became 20. Around the same time, I upgraded the binder again. More tabs. More labels. More proof. Then Liam and Sophie were born. Twins. 6 pounds each. Sophie screamed nonstop for hours. Liam slept through everything. Marcus cried holding them. I swear they'll know they're loved every day. Cora arrived the next morning and stayed 2 weeks. She cooked, cleaned, rocked babies at 3 a.m. She crocheted blankets and kissed tiny foreheads and filled our home with warmth. That was what a grandmother looked like. 5 months earlier, I had mailed ultrasound photos to my mother. Returned. Then birth announcements. Returned. Baby photos. Returned. 3 more items added to the binder. Later, a friend sent me screenshots of Paige texting someone from high school. Her children don't have real grandparents. That's what she chose. I sat in the nursery reading those words while holding Liam. Cora hummed softly in the kitchen while washing bottles. My children absolutely had a grandmother. Her name was Cora Ellison. By year 4, the binder had 19 items. Most days, I forgot it existed. It stayed hidden under paperwork in my desk drawer. But whenever something new happened, I filed it. Carefully. Methodically. Marcus and I built our company while building our family. Compliance core slowly grew. 11 employees. Then 15. We moved from the garage into a real office. Every night, no matter how busy we got, we ate dinner together at 6:30. That rule never changed. The silence from Ohio became normal. Like weather. Some days I noticed it. Most days I didn't. Cora visited every 6 weeks. The twins called her Grammy. She taught Liam how to make grilled cheese. She taught Sophie bird names in the backyard. Meanwhile, my own mother acted like we did not exist. In year 5, Marcus and I bought our first house. 3 bedrooms. Hardwood floors. Plum tree in the backyard. I remember signing the papers and thinking. We built this ourselves. No help. No rescue. Just us. That same year, Paige had a son. I learned from Facebook. Then came another family photo online. My whole world, my mother captioned it. The picture showed Paige, her husband, the baby, mom, and dad. Not me. Not Marcus. Not my children. I stared at it for a while. Then I closed the app and kept going. Some wounds stop bleeding long before they stop hurting. Year 6 brought Paige's wedding. I found out through Instagram. Huge church wedding. Fancy reception. Hundreds of guests. They never invited me. I mailed Paige a wedding gift anyway. Monogrammed linen napkins and a kind note. 3 weeks later, the unopened package came back. Still sealed. Item 17. Filed. Life moved on. Compliance core kept growing. Then year 7 changed everything. We landed major investors. $12 million in funding. I still remember Marcus standing in the kitchen holding his phone while pancakes burned behind him. They said yes. The company's value exploded overnight. I left my finance job and officially became CFO of Compliance Core. For the first time, my name stood beside Marcus's on every document. We moved again. Better schools. Bigger kitchen. Quiet neighborhood. Then something strange started happening. People from Millfield began asking questions. An old friend texted me. Your mom asked about Marcus's company at church. After 7 years of silence, suddenly Diane Archer wanted to know what Series B funding meant. The numbers had changed. And my mother was paying attention. That year, I mailed what I thought would be my final birthday card. Inside was a photo of Liam and Sophie smiling at a school festival. On the back I wrote. They ask about you sometimes. 9 days later, the envelope came back. But this time it had been opened. Someone had looked at the photo. Then carefully resealed the envelope and returned it anyway. I stared at the tape for a long time. I knew exactly what had happened. Dad opened it. Mom made him send it back. Item 23. Filed. By year 8, Compliance Corps had 80 employees. Marcus appeared in business magazines. Forbes mentioned us. LinkedIn showed anonymous profile views from Millfield, Ohio. Then another message came through an old friend. Your mom told someone at church she always knew Marcus was smart. Always knew. After 9 years. I wrote that sentence on a sticky note and placed it inside the binder. Not because it counted as evidence. Because I wanted to remember the moment my mother started rewriting history. Then came the group chat. My friend Tess accidentally got added to a family group chat between my parents and Paige. She screenshotted everything before they removed her. I sat in my car outside Liam's soccer practice reading the messages. Paige had researched our company value. My mother asked how much they should request from us. Mortgage payoff. Medical bills. Retirement money. Monthly support. Make a list, Paige wrote. She's a numbers person. I remember sitting there with my hands shaking. Not from heartbreak. From clarity. 9 years of silence. 9 years of rejection. Now suddenly they wanted family investment. I printed every screenshot. Item 26. Filed. That night I showed Marcus. He read quietly. Then asked, "What do you want to do?" Not what should we do. What do you want? That was Marcus. Always beside me. Never controlling me. I contacted a family attorney named Grace. Not to sue anyone. I wanted to protect our children legally. Grace confirmed my parents had no claim to anything. No rights to our money. No rights to our children. Especially after 9 years of documented estrangement. You have documentation? She asked. I have a binder. Then came the IPO process. 7 exhausting months. Meetings. Lawyers. Investors. Endless paperwork. Marcus handled product presentations. I handled financial disclosures. The twins started noticing how tired we were. One afternoon Sophie drew me sitting at my laptop with the words "one more email" above my head. That picture broke my heart more than any investor meeting ever could. 2 months before the IPO, Paige texted me for the first time in 9 years. Just thinking about you. How are the kids? Like nothing had happened. Then another message. I'll be in Portland next month. Want to meet? I agreed. Public cafe. Neutral location. Paige arrived late and overly cheerful. She hugged me too long. Then came the questions. How big was our house? Did the twins attend private school? How many employees did the company have now? How much funding had we raised? 32 questions. I counted. Not one apology. Not one. Then I noticed her phone angled toward the parking lot. She was photographing my car. Taking inventory. Building a report for Mom. Afterward, I went home and added item 28 to the binder. Paige reconnaissance visit. 32 questions. No apology. Grace told me something important after that. This isn't a legal issue anymore. It's personal. You already have the proof. You just need to decide what you're willing to say. Then Compliance Corps went public. NASDAQ. Opening stock price, $18. Closing price, $22. Marcus and I became worth $44 million on paper. It did not feel real. It felt like someone typed too many zeros into a spreadsheet. That night in New York, my phone showed 5 missed calls from Ohio. One from Dad. 1 from Mom. 3 unknown numbers. 9 years. $44 million. Suddenly, I mattered again. Dad left a voicemail the next morning. Baby girl. I saw you on TV. I'm proud of you. I sat on the hotel bathroom floor listening to it over and over. Part of me wanted to cry. Another part remembered every year he stayed silent while Mom erased me. He could have called any time. He chose now. Mom texted 2 days later. Long message. Carefully written. Not one apology. Not one admission of wrongdoing. Just vague talk about family and moving forward and sharing blessings. I screenshotted it. Printed it. Item 29. 0 apologies received. Then Tess called. Your mom's planning a trip to Portland. I looked around my kitchen while she talked. The kitchen where my children did homework. The kitchen where Marcus made pancakes. The kitchen where Cora's photo hung on the fridge beside drawings from the twins. That kitchen held my real family. And I knew my mother was coming. She arrived on a Tuesday morning at exactly 10:14. I know because I watched the taxi pull up from the kitchen window. She stepped out slowly with her suitcase and beige cardigan. Same pearl earrings she wore to church my entire childhood. She stood outside my house for 30 seconds before walking to the door. Then she rang the bell. I opened it. We stared at each other. 9 years standing between us. Her eyes looked wet already. Iris. Mom. Silence. Then she said, I came to talk about the children's future. Not I missed you. Not I was wrong. The children she had never met. I stepped aside. Come in. I led her straight to the kitchen. Not the living room. The kitchen. The place where truth lived. I poured 2 glasses of water. No coffee. Coffee was for guests staying longer than a conversation. Her eyes landed on the fridge. On the photo of Cora holding Liam and Sophie at the beach. She stared at it a little too long. Then she unfolded the paper. Blue ink. 5 bullet points. She read them out loud calmly. Retirement fund for her and Dad. $500,000. College fund for Paige's son. $200,000. Dad's surgery. Mortgage payoff. Monthly support. Total, $925,000. Then she folded the paper carefully. This is what families do, Iris. I stared at the list. Not once had she said sorry. Not once had she acknowledged the 9 years she erased us. I stood up quietly and walked to my office. Opened the bottom drawer. Pulled out the navy blue binder. Heavy now from 9 years of proof. I carried it back into the kitchen and placed it beside her list. What's that? She asked. You brought a list, Mom. So did I. I opened the binder. Year 1. Item 1. A returned birthday card. Still sealed. I laid it on the table. Then item 2. Wedding photo returned unopened. Then Christmas card. Then voicemail transcripts. Then screenshots. One by one. Carefully. Methodically. Like evidence during an audit. My mother's face slowly changed as the table filled with proof. These are all the birthday cards I mailed you, I said quietly. Every single one came back. Iris, I'm not finished. I turned another page. Item 16. Paige's message about my children not having real grandparents. My mother flinched. She didn't mean. She wrote it. Then came the group chat screenshots. The planning. The money discussions. The list. You tracked our company for months, I said. You discussed strategies for approaching me financially before speaking to me once in 9 years. Mom's tears finally came. Big dramatic tears. The kind I knew well from childhood. I was hurt, Iris. You chose him over us. No, I said calmly. You told me not to come back. She looked away. I pulled out item 23. The resealed birthday card. This one was opened. Dad looked at the twins' photo, didn't he? Silence. You made him send it back. Her shoulders dropped. For a second, just 1 second, something honest appeared on her face. Fear. Real fear. I was afraid, she whispered. I waited. If I admitted I was wrong, then I'd have to face what I threw away. For one moment, I saw the truth. Not pride. Not anger. Just a scared woman realizing she wasted 9 years. But then the moment disappeared. Her chin lifted again. You still left us. I closed the binder slowly. Metal ring snapping shut. You didn't come because you missed me, I said softly. You came because the numbers changed. The kitchen fell silent. Then the garage door opened. Marcus walked in carrying his laptop bag. He saw my mother. Saw the binder. Saw me. Without saying a word, he crossed the room and sat beside me. One hand resting gently on my shoulder. That was Marcus. No speeches. No drama. Just support. Mom stared at him for a long time. The man she rejected 9 years ago. The man who built a life beside me anyway. The man who helped create everything she now wanted access to. Then I spoke. Quietly. Carefully. Mom, I'm not giving you money. Her face hardened instantly. After everything we did for you. Raising me was your job, I interrupted. Not an investment account. Her mouth snapped shut. I pushed her list gently back across the table. If I hand you a check today, you'll tell yourself the silence was justified. That eventually I came around. That this was just a misunderstanding. I tapped the binder. It wasn't. My voice shook then for the first time all morning. Those 9 years were real. Every birthday you ignored. Every card you returned. Every photo of your grandchildren you sent back unopened. Tears filled her eyes again. But this time I didn't soften. You said Marcus wasn't one of us. But his mother was the only grandmother my children ever had. That landed hard. I saw it. Because it was true. Cora showed up every single time. Diane never did. I handed my mother her paper. If you ever want a relationship with Liam and Sophie, it starts with a real apology. Not to me. To them. And not because we're rich. She took the paper slowly. Picked up her suitcase. Walked to the door. Stopped once like she might say something. Then left. The door closed quietly behind her. Not a slam. Just a soft click. The sound of someone realizing too late that some things cannot be bought back. 2 weeks passed. Life returned to normal. The twins never knew she visited. Part of me was grateful for that. Then Dad called. Tuesday morning. His voice sounded older. I should have called years ago, he said. I should have opened the door for you. I should have come when the twins were born. He cried quietly. Not dramatic like Mom. Just tired. I don't want your money, Iris. I just want a chance to know you again. I sat silently for a long time before answering. I believe you. But trust takes time. He agreed immediately. No arguing. No guilt trips. We started with phone calls every 2 weeks. Slow. Careful. No promises. Paige texted once after that. You could have just helped. I never replied. Some messages answer themselves. Mom never called again. Not yet. The binder still sits in the bottom drawer of my desk. 29 items. 9 years. I hope it stays closed forever. Because here's what those years taught me. Family is not blood alone. Family is who shows up when your life is small. When your garage is cold. When your babies cry at 3 in the morning. Family is the person who sits beside you in silence because you need support. Family is the grandmother who flies across states every 6 weeks just to make grilled cheese and bedtime blankets. Family is love with action behind it. Not words. Not money. Showing up. That's what matters. That's my story. 9 years. 29 items. 1 navy blue binder. If this story meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And I'll see you next time.